Today, we're tackling something pretty fascinating, the idea of the high-functioning prisoner. We're going to explore this really strange paradox. Why is it that some of the most successful people you can imagine actually feel completely trapped, almost caged by their own achievements? So, let me ask you this. Does your success feel a little bit like a cage? I mean, have you ever felt like you've done everything right? You checked all the boxes, you climbed the ladder, but when you look around, it doesn't feel like a victory. It feels more like you're stuck in this really nice, beautifully decorated cage. If any of that rings a bell, then yeah, you're definitely in the right place. Well, there's actually a name for that exact feeling. It's called being a successful prisoner. And it's this concept that really gets to the heart of why so often huge achievement and real deep fulfillment just don't line up. And let's be super clear here. This isn't about failure. It's actually the opposite. It's about succeeding so much that you've kind of painted yourself into a corner. You're incredibly competent, you're really accomplished, but you're also just stuck. And the craziest part, the very path that got you all that success, that's now the thing that's making you miserable. So, how on earth does this happen? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is something we can call the sunk cost cage. This is where all those investments you've poured into your career, they actually start to work against you. Let's make this real. It might start with a number, a big one, like, say, $200,000, maybe in student debt for that fancy degree. Now, that isn't just a number on a page, right? It's a heavy, powerful psychological anchor. It tethers you to that specific path you chose. It just feels way too big to even think about walking away from. And then there's time. Let's say 10 years, a whole decade. Think about that. 10 years spent perfecting your craft, building a name for yourself, climbing that one specific ladder. That is a huge chunk of your life. And the thought of walking away from it, man, that can feel like you're just admitting that entire decade was for nothing. So you've got the money and the time. Those are like two giant steel bars on your cage. But they're not the only ones. Think about it. Your specialized education, your social status, the reputation you've built, your entire professional identity. All of these things become more bars in this cage that, let's be honest, you've carefully built around yourself. And with every new bar, it gets that much harder to imagine finding a way out. Psychology actually has a name for this exact trap. It's called the sunk cost fallacy. It's this weird glitch in our thinking where we let investments we can't get back, sunk costs, control our future choices. It's totally irrational, but we do it all the time. We keep pouring good energy after bad just because we've already poured so much in to begin with. Okay, so that's the pull of the past, but it's not the only thing keeping people stuck. There's also this constant pressure from the future. We're going to call this the never-ending climb. You know exactly how this goes, right? First, you get the degree. Check. Then you land the job. Check. You get the promotion. Check. You buy the house. Check. But with every single step you take, a new, higher step just appears. The top of the mountain just keeps moving further away. And that question, what's next? It stops feeling exciting and starts feeling, well, kind of terrifying. And that's the thing. This constant, relentless pressure to keep achieving means you never, ever feel like you can just take a breath. You never feel safe enough to stop for a second, look around, and ask the one question that really matters. Wait a minute, am I even climbing the right mountain? Okay, so we've got the cage built from your past, and we've got this intense pressure from the future. But what's the real glue holding it all together? What's the deep down intellectual trap that locks you in? Well, this is where we get to the absolute heart of it. It all comes down to this. You are spending your life justifying decisions made by a much younger version of yourself. Just think about who made that big career choice. It was probably, 22-year-old you? And that person was working with a totally different set of information. They were probably all about prestige, a big salary, the safe choice. But you, today, with all this new life experience, you're looking for meaning, for fulfillment, for flexibility. The problem is, you're trying to run your life on their old, outdated operating system. It's just not compatible anymore. And here is the biggest, most painful irony in all of this, especially for smart, successful people. Your greatest strength, your incredible intelligence, it actually gets weaponized against you. You become a master at rationalizing, at justifying, at building a flawless logical case for why you should stay on a path that makes you miserable. And why? All to prove that some kid, a younger you with way less information, made the right call all those years ago. So what's the answer? How do you get out?
Well, the good news is, it's not about some dramatic burn it all down escape. It's actually about a really powerful fundamental shift in how you think about it. It's about reframing the whole idea of leaving into what we'll call a strategic leap.
Look, the world will tell you that leaving a good job means you're quitting, that it's an admission of failure. But the strategic reframe is to see it for what it really is, an incredibly intelligent move. You are not giving up. You're making a new, updated decision based on a ton of new data you've collected. You're not wasting your past, you're cutting your losses so you can maximize your future potential. It's a smart pivot, it is not a failure. So you see, the goal here isn't to frantically escape from something. It's to calmly realize that you've been holding the key the whole time. And that key? It's just this. Stop wasting all your brain power justifying a choice a younger you made, and start using that energy to make a new, better choice for the amazing person you are right now, today.
And that really brings us to the final big question. Once you stop defining yourself by the bars of that cage, the fancy job title, the impressive salary, the social status, what's left? You're left with this huge, powerful, and maybe, a little bit scary question. Who are you without the cage? And what could you build if you were free?